All right, Sketchbook Heroes, we just finished some lines and we're gonna do if you look for that video, you can see that video. And hopefully one of these days we'll pop up those videos and I can actually put them side by side and show you some more stuff. But anyways, we're going to this might be the last drawing of the day. We're gonna draw a still life. There is still life out there, still life. Funny. All right, here we go. So we're gonna break it down. Let's see what we're gonna draw. Let me share. Sharing is caring. We'll go here. Bam, there it is. All right, we're gonna break this down now. There's try to see the big shapes. But with this one, we're gonna actually break it down a little differently than we did last time. We're going to actually let's go to annotate. We're gonna go with big squares. Let's see, big squares. Is that big squares? So I'm gonna draw a big square here. Make shift. Make sure you have shift. There we go. Is that square? Yeah. So you can see a square here. And this is kind of like breaking it into grids. I can see this cup now is on this side. And if we copy this square, and I'm gonna say it's less. I can already tell. It's less than half. Here's half. I'm gonna copy and paste this square. Copy, paste. Let's move this over. There's half. Yeah, that's half. Yeah, it's less. You can see it's this much less. So if I were to break it into thirds, you can see now it's broken into thirds. Not good. That's not helpful unless you can break that in there. What is helpful is the height and the width. So you can see the height and the width is 1 and 1, and then it's just a little bit not quite 1.5 times wide. That's ratios, the height compared to the width, and we're really looking at that. So the other thing I'm going to do is actually we can break the half. Let's break this into half. We can break the square into half. We're just going to use that as a square. Actually, we'll just do that. I'm going to get rid of this square here. And then I'm going to go here. And then see this. This is where that middle is. That middle. We're going to get some lines in here. We'll do this line here. And then, okay. Here's the middle on this one. On this side. So the middle's here and there. So we'll start here, and then we'll go here. All right, so let's go to my line maker. My line maker. Put 2 lines. Let's go into here. So I believe it was here. Put a straight line across. Look at that. It helps get our grapes in there. And then here, I think the bottom middle is somewhere around there. And now we can go back and check if that how accurate it is. I think it's maybe off to the left. Hit a little bit. Let's see. This is a little higher. Let's move them a little bit. Move these lines. I don't know if I can. Click out. There we go. Move this line over a little bit. Move this line down a little bit. And then double check it. That's a lot better. Slightly off still. Not about perfection. It's about practice. All right. There we go. This already kind of breaks it. This square with smaller squares is going to help a lot. All right. Now let's get in some circles in here. Oops. Circles. There we go. I see this circle. Oh, that's not a circle. Oh, we're still stuck on the line. There we go. I see this circle. There it is. Oh, a little too high, a little too big. That's just right. In size, not the placement. Here's the placement. Look at that circle. I love it. I love it. Now you can see that it's a sphere. And there's a lot of detail in here. All of that detail. Oh my gosh, it's so rich in detail. The colors, the shading. This is a drawing or a painting. This is not a photograph. Okay, so we're going to take that. You can see that's the same about clump there, that same circle. And then over here, we can compare it to there. It's smaller. All right. All right, so I'm going to copy paste that. Copy, paste. And then here you can see that, look at that, right in there. And paste it again, bring it over here. I'm just seeing these relationships is all I'm saying. And then that fits in there. That's good. I think that's good. I think that's really good. All right, cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I can break this down into more. We don't really need to. I'll just break it down just a little bit because this is what you should be seeing. See these angles. See, look at that triangle. Another thing in there. It looks like a number 4. Undo that one. Apple in there. And you can see how this fits in there. All right, that looks good. I like it. I like it. That's good enough. Good enough for government work, I think. All right, here we go. I said it. I did. I tried not to say it last time, but I didn't. All right, screenshot. Screenshot. Down to 3 people hanging in there. All right, you warriors. Yeah, you hardcore heroes. All right, screenshot. Where's my shot? Oh, it was on the side. Oh, thank you. I've got to go. See you next time. All right, Elena. Oh, Elena. Oh, no, that's a different Elena. Oh, this is great. I need to learn more about. Okay, yes, it's all about proportion. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, here we go. All right, screenshot. All right, perfect. There we go with a screenshot. Nice. Capture. Okay. All right. Man, I don't think we need I don't know if you want one without the lines, we can do that. Let's see. I think I can do it without the line. That's me. All right. Where is my drawing tools? My drawing tools. Okay. Uh-oh. No, that's all right. I don't think we need to. There's our line. Okay. Well, we'll just stop sharing. Oh, there it is. Let's jump into this. Did I put it in the chat? I did. Did I? No. Where's the chat? Oh, yeah, there it is. Let me download it for myself. Ah, there it is. Don't have to download it. There it is. All right. So, should be good, right? We're good. We're good. We're good. I think we're good. Okay, so I'm going to draw a square as big as I can. That's where I'm going to start. I'm going to start with a square as big as I can. If I can really, I know it's going to be on this left side, and it's going to be not quite half a circle there, a square. What are you saying? I can, you can, if you want to use a straight edge too, I don't have one here. I'm not in my studio, but let's just do it. Let's just do this. All right, I'm gonna go with a big square here. Well, almost the whole paper. If you want to take the whole paper, that's fine. But why don't we? Where's our other paper that we're using for? Well, we can use one of these. We can use our line. Um, here we go. Here's the height. If you want to get the same height, same width, there it is. That's the height right there, right? We're using this measurement. Zoom it up. Zoom it out enough. Let's not get you confused with the line here. Let's start over. I'm just measuring. See, I'm measuring from there to there. That's how tall our square is. Then we're going to bring that, and that's over here. There it is. Oh, so that's how wide our square is. Now, if we break that in half, break, see where the half is. Halfway point by folding that in half. We know it's going to be less than that. So, yeah, it's going to fit. It should be less. It's just going to be right about there. That'd be interesting to, I actually, I think I can. It looks like it's about 3/4. 3/4. 3/4, yeah, it's about 3/4 or 2/3. Really close, bigger, wider. Right, so here's our square. That's the important one. There's our square. Right, there's our square, and then just a little bit wider. There it is, a little wider. Break this in half. Find the middle. No. Find the middle. And then the middle again. And break it into fourths. Use the fourths, Luke. Right. I can go with AI now and download all my videos and say, okay, how many times did he say that? How many times? All right, cool. All right, there we go. All right. So now let's do, we got this canter or vase or what is this? A pitcher, a circle. It's going to be right about there. There's our circle. We got the other circle. It's almost touching and it's a little bit lower right there. All right, this is where our grapes are going to be about the same size. So it's right about there. Then we got a whole bunch of grapes at this angle here and this angle there. See? There's our other grapes. These are all grapes. This is our pitcher. Then the pitcher kind of comes up to here. The proportions, somebody mentioned proportions. She left. I can't look at the chat, but yeah, there's our picture. And this would be good to have a center line as well, an axis line. That helps because a lot of times this is a challenging shape. A form, actually, it's not even a shape, it's a form, it's a circle shape, but then it's a form, it's a sphere. We're going to the next dimension here. We're not dealing with flat shapes, we're dealing with form now. We're going advanced. So there's an apple here between these two circles. And then there's two more apples over here. There's one right about there, about the same size. Repetition. Another one right on top of it, right about there. Sketch it in. And then we got that glass up here. The glass is, see how high it is? How high this is? Right about there. The glass is in between, somewhere right around in here. That glass. And the angles, it goes out and then in. I can see that kind of like oval shape. More oval shapes, please. Ovaltine. Okay, probably a little bit higher, a little bit smaller. Yeah, because these oranges here, unless these oranges need to be lower. Yes, they do. I'm looking at this circle here, and all these oranges need to be a little bit, apples. These apples need to be a little bit lower. And again, an axis line would help get that. So yeah, these apples probably need to be a little bit lower. Yep. And if I wanted to get squares and draw them all out, I can spend more time doing that. And if I really wanted to get accurate, but I'm not worried. I'm worried. It's more about the practice. Things are off. That's okay. It's okay if things are off. I have to learn how to learn to live with imperfections as well. Nothing's perfect. Look at our president. Anyways, I don't know. I don't know. There's good things, bad things. There's good and bad and everything. There's problems to the solution and there's solutions to the problem. Anyways, there's problems. There's failure and success, and there's success and failure. Here we go. All right, let's see. That's a balance. All right, I like it. I like it. I don't see anything in the chat. So let's go from left to right. Should we go left to right? Left to right. Oh, big to small. See, process. Yeah, let's get some more big stuff in here. All right, so I see, let's focus on this cloth that's on the table. Okay, so the cloth kind of comes down. There's a shape here, another shape from that apple down here, and one right about here. I'm just blocking stuff in where things kind of go. That cloth that's there. And then there's a nice little curve. Oh, there's a rich detail. Oh my gosh. Ah. I'm trying to be nice. Something, I guess, sweet. Candy for the eyes. How about that? That's a lot nicer than what I was going to say. Candy for the eyes. Okay, there's a table here. Really nice. Brings your eye across. This artist, whoever it is, Captain Morgan. You get props for your composition, composing stuff, putting this together, and the way it flows. This is all next level stuff. Composing stuff, right? How is it composed? How is it put together? Not just the structure, but the composition, which is how it's composed, how it's put together. All right, I think that's good. The table's there. I think I'm blocking a lot of stuff. I think we can go from left to right. And oof, we got a lot of grapes. That's going to take a while. That is going to take a while. All right, so we got the bowl. Let's get the bowl. There's a bowl line. Actually, yeah, the grapes are going to take a while. I don't know. Let's start with this apple. I kind of like where it's at. I'm just double checking, making sure it kind of fits just right. It's at the right level. Not too high, not too low. I think it is probably, yeah, it's about there. It's probably a little bit higher than these apples over here. That's okay. That's all right. Okay, let's put our observational powers on this apple and let's zoom in because there's a lot of detail. We can actually go in there. There's the light side, a dark side, the stem at a slight angle. Really putting our powers of observation in there. What do we see? Shadows and all this fun stuff. All this stuff that's going on in the world around us as we open our eyes, live in the moment. Here we go. There's that apple shape, not a perfect circle. It's a bit of an oval. Then the colors, you can get into color. Wow, coloring this. Looking at the lights and darks. What's more important than color, though, is value. You can see that it's actually, and I'm focusing all my observation powers, and I'm kind of doing this stuff, and it kind of goes in like a pumpkin shape of the shading, but it's really slight. It kind of like wraps around. If you look carefully, the artist kind of did that, but you got to look really closely because he understands form. This artist is, very has observed the world, sees how just these subtle the lights coming from the left. You can even see it here, the light on the left of the picture. There we go. There's that apple. There's that apple. Now, that's not too bad. That's pretty good. Did we zoom in too much? No, we're good. Let's just focus on these. I was trying to avoid the grapes, but I think we're just gonna do it. Have to do the grapes. Let's do the bowl first, though. There's a bowl in here. The bowl goes above the apples, above the apple. Let's get that bowl. And it's a straight line, but the grapes go on top. But so draw it lightly at first, and then we'll draw the grapes. There's two on this side in here. One, two. Then there's one like right on this line right in there. And then there's another two. One, two. And there's another one above it. You see, and I'm trying to keep it in that circle shape. That's where they kind of were. Oh, yeah. Some of the proportions are looking a little off. There's one up here. This one that's right up at the top. Another one right there. Another one right about there. The size and shape, do the best you can. I mean, we can actually draw a grid on here and really get accurate, but we're just doing a sketch. We're not, if you want to get perfect, you can. You can actually copy this like really accurate. But sometimes it's more important to draw a lot than spend a lot of time on one drawing. It's better to do more drawings. It's more practice. And then you can go back and really, take some time. Understand how long you're going to spend on one drawing. Getting lost in all the details. I think there's an extra grape in here. You can resize the grapes as well. And then there's also overlapping. So there's a little bit of overlapping here. The grapes going over the edge. And you can adjust, and some of the grapes behind. And some of the grapes, yeah, this one's behind the lip, this one's in front. Grapes of wrath. Some of the shadows, some of these shadow shapes. Ooh, negative shapes. We haven't really talked about negative shapes. We don't talk about that much. Negative shapes. I don't like being negative. And then here, this grape should probably be in a little bit more because there's a lot of space in there. Battery power. We don't need our mouse, so there's a reminder. Energy. Plug our laptop back in. Leaving. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. Yeah, I see all these grapes. That's a lot of detail. There's a dark grape in there. And how big the grapes are, really, okay, so here, watch this. We've got this whole, I kind of see the clumps of grapes. I can see this, and this is really interesting. I can see a clump of four right in here. There's a clump of four. And then I can also see a clump, you see there's four there. And then I can see these two as a part of another, that kind of like roll. into this, this connection. See, I'm making these connections in my brain of these other grapes that kind of look like, well, this banana shape with another two grapes right in there, and then another two grapes right in there, and then since I know there's a grape there, grape there, grape there, grape there, one above it, another two down here. There we go. See how I broke it down? It's kind of like that what we were doing with the tree and looking at the forest, then the tree, and then the leaves. I saw the big shapes and the big connections, and then I can go back in there and really get the details. See which grape is in front of which is on top, which is below. How do they, what's the spacing as well? There's some space between these two. I kind of put them too close together, but it's okay. Now, again, it's not about perfection, about the practice. I've gotten, you can aim at, and it depends. It's just a sketch. Just a sketch. And how close things are, how far things are. And if you really want to spend more time with it, then you can spend more time with it. But, I don't want to drive people crazy. Yes, Miss Daisy. You can see the distance placement of these. Some are in front, some are behind. Really have to observe on these grapes. Really fun stuff. There's one behind, one in front, this one behind. The way they overlap. It's playful. So this one right here is behind these two. This one grape is behind, and it's darker. I'm not even getting into the shading or anything, just getting things in there. The cloth that is coming in here and ripples up and down. There's this piece of fabric underneath. There we go. And yeah, and there's highlights on the grapes. The back of the table is in here somewhere around there. And then that's darker up here if I really get into that shading. I'm just going to draw it in. 7:54. Yes, we're just going to finish this drawing up and call it a night. 2 hours here. You started, if you hung out from the beginning. All right. Here we go. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot going on. And the shadows or darkness in between the grapes. It depends on how much time you have, how much time you want to spend on it. But it's always about the next drawing. What's next? What's next? All right, this is good. What's next? All right, keep it going. Keep it going. Don't get stuck. That's the problem. I've known artists that are students that draw really well, then they stop for some reason. It's that criticism can kill creativity or whatever block it is. Sometimes somebody says something or you thinking, or you need to check up from the neck up and say, oh, I can't draw, I can't do this. I stopped for a while myself. What am I saying? I stopped for a while. Life and things sometimes get in the way. I'm still fighting to keep it going because that's why we're here. I'm doing this for free since COVID. But I need to monetize. I really do need to start getting some money in here. So we've got to finish the book. We got to get better videos up. Better videos, better quality. Some of the videos we've gotten a lot of views, but not a lot of views. And I think we need more production value. Anyways, but with AI, I think we'll be able to do that. All right, here we go. I think the grapes are kind of in there. And you can decide how much detail you want to go in there. And I'm here looking at this fabric and seeing how the darks and the lights and the different shapes and the overlapping, like this shape here, it goes underneath this part of that fold. And that's light. That's a light fold as it folds out. It's light, and there's darkness around it. Darkness encompassing me, all that I see. And there's just a play of lights and darks and folds and detail in here that I'm not gonna totally get, but I will put a slight shade on this whole fabric thing so you can see this fabric. And I'm doing a hatch shading. It's a good way to shade hatch. All right, bury the hatchet. Ooh, you might miss something. Nothing in the chat. Good. All right. Let's focus. Yeah, I don't know if, yeah, I think I had all that in camera because I am zoomed in a bit. We're almost there. We're finishing this up. Call it a night. Thank you for joining us again. All right. It's about progress. Everybody wants progress, like the microwave society, like, oh, now, how do you do this? How's the quickest way to draw? Well, having there is a process, a way. And my book, when it finally comes, should kind of help people because it really is practice. And practicing the right things, practicing with purpose, consistency, direction. If you're missing some of those, you'll eventually get it. But I mean, it took me a long time to learn to draw. It really did. I just kept at it. But I can show you some shortcuts so you can learn to draw faster. And these are some of the shortcuts, seeing the shapes, and I try to give you all the knowledge, so you're not taking as long as I learned how to draw. But I mean, if you love to draw, it doesn't matter how long it takes to draw. You take as long as you need to, because once you get there, it's like, oh wow, hey, it took me this long, but you know, believe me, I've been drawing since I was 5. But not great drawings. Okay. All right, so there's a lot of detail here, stuff that I'm not explaining, I'm just drawing. It's been 2 hours, and I feel like it's been forever since when I was doing this weekly, it was better, I think. I don't know. I'd have to go back and look, but we shall see. A lot of those we didn't record. We just did it to do it, because we did it for fun. Then I started recording, and then I started like a year ago saying, okay, I'm going to develop this. But then life gets in the way. I'd be saying, you make your plans and God laughs. Is that? Yeah. All right, there's a handle here. So you got to get a handle on life. I'm just drawing now without explaining what I see or perceive. I got most of it, right? I'm just seeing how things fit, how things are, how they curve, how they are attached. This whole shape right here, it's actually, and it's a sketch, so it doesn't have to be perfect. What is that? It's just a sketch. And then you have a rendering, because that's what this is. We're making a sketch of a rendering. This is really well rendered. When something is rendered, it's like, really with the shading and everything else. Here we're focusing on our ratios, our angles, on accuracy, doing the best we can with the limited time we have. Just do the best you can. There's so much detail, reflections, and the light bouncing here and there, and reflection. Okay, there's liquid that's in here. It's oval shaped, and you see the reflection of the windows, and yeah, you can actually see outside that window right in here somewhere. But no, don't need to do it. I just know this is darker. I can shade this darker. There's a lot of shadow in here, but I'm just shading it. There's a lot of details, more details and stuff that I'm willing to commit to. And I can get the gist. I can get the feel. And that comes with time, like knowing what to omit, being able to see the big shapes, the forms. Here's a shadow that's pretty cool. It goes in here. And then the cup. The cup probably can be a little bit closer. Yeah, I'm looking at the distance here. I'm looking at the negative space. Can be a little bit closer. We'll pull it in, pull it up. Yeah, pull it in, pull it up a little bit. So I can pull it in. And it does remember these angles. It's like an oval shape. We'll bring it over. So might even bring this apple over a little bit there. Just to try to get accurate. It doesn't have to be perfect. Nobody's going to say it's not like a face. That nose is in the wrong place. That's okay. Hey, it doesn't look like me. Yeah, I know. I'm still learning. All right, we're almost done. Just details. Devil's in the details. And I'm skipping a lot of details. I'm trying to see the big stuff, the big stuff. And then you can go back in there with the details. Spend your time, how much you want to dedicate to it. But really, the more you draw, the better. Oof, not the greatest wine glass here. It looks like I've been drinking. Let's try to see that axis line right here. I mean, moved it over. That axis line should help. See, now you can see that with an axis line where it's too big on one side, it needs to be bigger on the other. Try to get it symmetrical, symmetry. There it is. All right, almost finished. Almost finished. Yeah, you can see. Yeah, actually, and you can see how the lights and the darks and the almost done. I mean, we can spend another hour here on this thing or more. Yeah, Da Vinci spent like a couple years on the Mona Lisa. Imagine that on one painting. Sure, he had other projects, and he was a perfectionist. A perfectionist. He didn't finish a lot of stuff. There we go. All right, almost done. Well, thank you for joining us. Hopefully, we can one of these days get into a flow where we actually put these. Yeah, I know what I want to do. I know what I want to do. It's just, I don't know. Not just time, but well, there's factors. There's factors more than just time. All right, here we go. There's shadow in here. There's a whole shadow under the table. I'm throwing in real quick. I'm just looking at big stuff, and I'm looking at the big picture. See, okay, well, how can I make it better real quick? So there's a shadow there. It goes from dark to light, so I'm gonna go a little bit darker. Let's zoom out a little bit so you can see the whole thing together. And I don't know if you want to share, or we're going to stop recording. If you'd like to share, or if you want to say anything, little feedback, or if you want comments on your drawings, I can, if you want to show them, you don't have to. And we have a hangout tomorrow. Hangout, we'll be at my mom's, hanging out, just drawing, or I don't know what I'm going to be doing. Probably, we'll see. We shall see. I don't know, I've got too many projects, like somebody told me. That's good. Keeps me busy. Keeps me busy. I need to prioritize. And sometimes I just veg out. Alrighty, focus. There we go. I think that's pretty good. Not too shabby. Yeah. I mean, you can actually bring out the paints now and paint this. And this would be good to paint as well. I mean, get the colors and values and I mean, that's a whole other layer of how deep you want to go, how deep the rabbit goes. All right, thanks for joining us. I'm going to stop recording, and if you have any questions, I'll stick around for a minute. I'll put it in the chat. Let's see. Oh, where's my record button? There it is.